What is up, beautiful, beautiful souls? Tonight I want to talk about a pretty hefty duty subject. There's a lot of things that intertwine with it, different concepts, different notions, which is why I think the subject in itself becomes very misconstrued. That is of forgiveness. Do you know what it means to forgive? What is your definition of forgiveness? I thought I knew what forgiveness meant way back when. And it was very similar to what the masses would say forgiveness is. However, through my own healing, many nights of tears, a lot of grief, transcending studies, that has all kind of shifted quite radically, actually. So when I was going through the darkest night of my life, I remember Spirit asked me to forgive my abuser. Did I hear you right? What do you mean, forgive my abuser? I was in such a shitty place myself. I couldn't even forgive myself. I was living with guilt and shame that I should have known better. I felt like an idiot. I felt like a fool. I was living in a state of apathy. My whole life had radically shifted. I was in depression. It was all I could do to get through work and to play mom. The nights, the days when I was alone was spent in tears, excruciating pain, or else trying to sleep it away. And you want me to forgive my enemy? I made a video way back when. And when it's so hard, how do you forgive? Well, what I did, I gave it to the divine. You want me to forgive? Here, you take everything that was done to me and you forgive them. I give it to you because I can't do that. And if you are in that state, that would be my first suggestion. Because what it does do is permit you the opportunity to do some real internal. You'll still grieve, you'll still hurt. Forgiveness doesn't take away pain. Let's make that clear. That's the first thing about forgiveness. It doesn't take away your pain. But if you're ready to take self-accountability, give it to the divine, allocates you the opportunity to go inwards and look at the red flags that you may have missed. What parts were coming short on your behalf? It permits you the opportunity to look at it a little bit different. Now, when I go back and I perceive the idea of forgiveness, here's what I can tell you that I've come to understand about forgiveness. We will never know what is going on in another person's mind. We never know if they've actually learned their lesson or if they'll ever change. We can base their past behavior, their character, any disorder, and that of the masses, and come up to a pretty good conclusion what to expect. But we don't know indefinitely. And we have to recognize that. That being said, what is done, and it was in the past. It does not mean that to forgive, I will ever let my abuser back into my life. He will never have the opportunity to play me, to manipulate me, or any of the above. It is done, and it is in the past, therefore I can forgive. It does not mean to have unconditional love, like Christ. That's a completely different story for you guys. It doesn't even mean that you have to like them. Hell, I'll be honest. I almost think I still hate the bastard. Because I do know his character. Because I do know what he's capable of. I mourn for the future targets and the stuff that they're going to have to go through. But hate's pretty hefty, right? So if I find myself going down that road, What I can do, what I can pull out, is the gratitude. The gratitude for the abuser. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gone through those dark nights all by myself and had to revisit all the dusty corners, everything that I missed. Because of him, I've learned and discovered what self-love is, the confidence in being me, embracing all that I am, understanding boundaries to a completely new extent, the discernment, the wisdom for individuals like him, and understanding that with all of these things going forward with new relationships, the moment somebody oversteps a boundary, I now have a new understanding of what compromise and sacrifice is. Forgiveness does not mean that we have to like the predator, the enemy, the person that did you wrong. It does not even mean that we have to accept them back into our life. It does not mean that we can change their ways of behaviors, change their behavior or their ways of thinking. Forgiveness has nothing to do with any of that. One thing that we all do experience, whether it's to some degree or another, is trauma. And trauma in itself is a disorder of keeping us from living in the present. We bring the past with us, therefore, which is not even necessary in the present moment, but we bring it because it's a part of our wiring, the new wiring, that prevents us from living in the future. There's never a future if we can't even live in the present, right? Hence, the idea of hate. Holding on to hate is poison for us. Hate is the poison that we hold into ourselves, thinking that it's going to hurt the other person. It's only damaging us. Forgiveness is about leaving it in the past so that we can live in the moment, receive and become conscious of new downloads, the decisions, being consciously aware of where we're at so that we can create a new future, a new tomorrow. But we will miss all of those things if we bring what is from the past. That's what forgiveness is about. It's about past reconsolidation, not for future reconsideration. It's not about loving. It's not about liking. It's not about bringing somebody back. It's not about changing their mindset. It's not about tolerating their behavior. It's about ridding yourself of all that happened. Forgiveness is a very intimate thing, not only about learning to forgive yourself, but forgiving those others so that you can be all that you can be. Forgiveness alone helps with the healing, but it doesn't do the healing. We misconstrue all of these things that intertwine and think that we have to have all of that in order to forgive. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Forgiveness is ultimately to leave it all in the past. If you choose to bring somebody back, well, that's your choice. I know I did it. I did it multiple times, hence why I was like, I thought if I was to forgive somebody, that means that I condone their behavior, push it to the side, and pray it doesn't happen again. That has nothing to do with that. I have so much love for you guys.